Do you want to become a successful DJ or dance music producer in 2024? Do you want to level up your game and get more music signed to the record labels you want to be on? Do you want to get more streams, listeners, and engagements? Grow your social media following? Well, stick around. In this video, I'm going to give you all my big tips to level up in 2024 as a DJ and a producer. Let's do this. Let's start 2023 swinging. Last year, I did this video in 2023, and it got such a great response that I thought I'd do an update for 2024. When we start looking at a new year, it's a good time to focus on our goals for that year and what we want to achieve over the next 12 months, to set some plans for the forthcoming year and set some statements of intent. But before we can go anywhere, we need to know where we are right now. Think about it. When you set off in a car to go anywhere and you ask Google Maps to give you some directions, you always have to put where you're starting from first and then put where you're going to go to so it can give you the directions. So let's start with that. Where are you right now in your career? Let's do a simple exercise. So pause this video and go and get a pen and a paper. Go on, go right now. Right, you're back. Now, I want you to write out all the categories for you as a person, as a DJ, as a producer, and all the parts of your life. And these could include things like gigs, releases, streams, social media numbers, engagement, reach, and then you can break down each of the individual platforms: Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and any other platforms you're on. Then think about Spotify. You're thinking about monthly listeners and your biggest streams and how many streams you had in 2024. Then you also could think about yourself, your health, your diet, your friends, your family, your relationships, and anything else that's really, really important to you. Then I want you to give it a number from either 1 to 5 or either 1 to 10. It doesn't really matter. And I want you to score each of those areas. And then I also want you to write down a why for those areas, why you're scoring at that number. This will give you your base of where you are now. And it can also make you look back at what you've achieved this year and relive what you've achieved this year, which is always so great. And now we know where you are, we can now look at where you want to go for 2024. Firstly, who are you jealous of? Write some names down. This is a good one because jealousy is just an internal block desire. Then ask yourself, what do you want to achieve in 2024? Which are the key labels you want to get on in 2024? Which magazines, blogs do you want to write about you? Which radio shows do you want to be on? Which radio station plays do you want to have? Maybe a focus on number growth. How many more followers do you want to get? How many more reach do you want to get? How much more engagement do you want to get? And again, break down the platforms: Instagram, TikTok, SoundCloud, Spotify. Where do you want your monthly listeners to be by the end of the year? And then again, this could be across Spotify, Apple, Deezer, wherever. And then what else do you dream about? Do you want to be in the DJ Mag Top 100? Beatport #1? Play at certain festivals and certain gigs? Then, finally, a part of the exercise, what is holding you back? What's stopping you from achieving those dreams? What do you need to learn to get you past those blockers? Where are your weaknesses? And what holes do you have in your knowledge? And if you're unsure, then we can split some of these into 4 key areas. I'm going to break those down in a second. Before I do that, I'd just like to thank everyone that joined me on YouTube last year. I'd like to welcome in all the new subscribers that become part of our YouTube fam last year. To all our new shed heads in the Discord community and everyone that's found value from these videos, thank you. 2023 was a big year for Data Transmission. We celebrated 15 years and personally 20 years in dance music. And Data Transmission have once again had big growth across SoundCloud, across YouTube and Spotify, and across our labels and radio stations. Also, I've personally now worked with over 500 DJs and producers through my artist blueprint and the previous series. In the last year, we had course members signed to management companies. And if you didn't see this video, check it out next about how you got signed to a management company. We've had course members play gigs all over the world, including Ibiza last summer. And then we've had thousands of tracks signed last year across all of our course members. So amazing to see. And we are looking forward to our 16th year as Data Transmission in 2024. With this YouTube channel, I'm excited to continue researching videos and pushing you forward and giving you the blueprint so that you can keep growing as DJs and producers. On top of the videos we're doing, we now brought our live streams to YouTube. Every Monday and Wednesday, we're doing demo feedback sessions so you can get your demos listened to by us and the team. All you need to do is join the Discord and the link is in the description. So that's me. Thank you everyone that's joined us. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe. Let's try and grow this channel to over 100,000 next year. We can do this as a team. Come on, let's do this. It'd be a massive help for me. Let's chat those 4 big areas. They are network, product, community, and content. With each of these 4 areas, these can be amplified with consistency. Turning up every day and doing something and pushing yourself forward, that little 1% every day, is going to help you grow over the whole year. Always think long game. So, number 1, network. Who do you know? This industry is actually quite small. You think it's massive, but it's actually quite small. And certain people in the industry will have multiple hats across different parts of the industry. So who you know is the biggest asset you can have as a DJ and producer, and continuously building that network and adding more people to who you know is so important. And I cannot stress this enough. Your network is going to push you forward quicker than anything else. I've seen DJs not releasing any music and still playing on massive killer lineups on festivals and in Ibiza and gigs and club club shows all over the world, all because of who they know and who there is in their network. In fact, I DJed at 4 festivals last summer, and I haven't released a record in years, and already have festival bookings for 2024. But shh, don't tell anyone about Ron Mexico. Go to gigs, meet promoters, meet peers, hang out, and increase your network. Go to conferences. There's some big ones you should check out. And if you haven't seen this video where I explain all about dance music conferences, go and check this out afterwards as well. And I'm going to put a playlist of all these videos that I mentioned in this video so you can go and watch them all afterwards. Get in Discord servers, they're popping, and we've got nearly 2,500 members in our Discord server, and they're all DJs and producers, all trying to push themselves forward and all helping each other. It's a really lovely community in there now. And if you want to join, the link is in the description below. Network on social media. Pick 20 DJs that are in your genre, that are maybe a little bit above you, a little bit further ahead of you in the game, but playing your sound. Make it your mission to have a proper connection with these people within the first 3 months of this year. It doesn't have to be by the end of the year. Really graft it. Work out what labels are on the next run of the ladder and start trying to work out who the A&Rs are for those labels, and then start networking with them, because that's going to help you get the music signed. I want to say, when it comes to looking at other artists, don't ever compare yourself. Just look at the path they took, because that's going to give you some insight into how you're going to get there as well. Number 2, the product, your skills, and your music. I know every time I say the product, it sounds super markety, and I hate doing it. And I know it does take some of the shine off doing it for the love. Let's not forget this is a music business, and most decisions by labels, by promoters, by festivals are made on a business decision wise. Does your business align with their business? And can the two businesses do good business together? And this could be to sell clubs out, to sell records. And can you combine the two fan bases and do audiences to help push these? So, how good is your product? How good is your music? How good is your DJ skills? This is things you can work on. What score did you give them earlier? Like when you go to the gym, you start off not as good, and then you do the reps and you keep going and you keep turning up and you build stronger muscles, and you can apply that same principles to everything. Are you making regular mixes? If you want to be a DJ, are you mixing? Do you have a radio show? These can actually create accountability and a regular place for you to turn up every month, every week, and they get you DJing. We've got spaces on Data Transmission Radio, which have opened up for our intake for this year. And if you want the link, I'll put that in the description too. Have you got advanced skills? Is that what you're about? Or do you need to educate yourself this year to increase your skills, to make you better? Within dance music, the blueprint usually to the top, unless you've got those super skills and you can show them off on TikTok or your Instagram Reels or YouTube, is about making music and being a producer too. And you need to make records and combine that with your DJing to get on certain labels, to build an audience so you can get to the top. So have you started making music? Do you need someone to listen to that music? Like I said, we listen to demos every Monday and Wednesday on YouTube, on this channel. So make sure you subscribe. We listen to all types of dance music, from house to tech house to drum and bass to disco to techno, jungle, you name it, as long as it's dance music. And so much music of our shared head community in Discord has been signed in 2023. So what original releases have you got planned already for 2024? And if you haven't, let's start building that schedule out. What music you set on and how can you build that into a release schedule? When it comes to getting music signed, you want to try and get your music as a new producer all in the same genre. And because you want to build that familiarity, you want people to go, I like that guy or girl's last track, I'll listen to the next one. I like what they were doing. So yes, you can produce every genre under the sand, but you don't have to release everything. And let's say that together, you don't have to release everything you make. Some of it can just be for fun, just test out new genres, test out new skills, but keep your familiarity and release schedule, and that's going to help you grow. Right, you have your tracks ready. You want to try and have releases every 6 to 8 weeks over the whole year. Don't oversaturate yourself, because you want to spend as much time as you spent making the tracks as you are promoting those tracks and getting as many streams and listens out of those tracks as possible. Push your promotion and your marketing. The big one for real growth is collaborations. And the more you collaborate with other people, it's going to help you grow on places like Spotify. And it's a massive growth hack to combine multiple people's audiences to get more streams out of tracks. Think about it. Each of you has your own audience, and each of you then combining to push that track further. You can put in 2 or 3 fan bases into one track. It's a massive hack. So who are you collaborating with this year? Number 3, social media and your fan base. I saw an interview the other week from one of the A&Rs from a massive label in dance music, and he was saying that the track is only 10% of the equation. Let me know what you think about that in the chat. Which, if that's true, that leaves 90% riding on everything else I'm going to be talking about. That's a big percentage on what your numbers are and your audience are. Whether some of that percentage is Spotify numbers and Spotify monthly listeners, or it's your audience across other platforms like Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and SoundCloud, you definitely need to have those numbers in place to get on certain labels at certain levels. You need to make content to promote yourself. You need to talk about your music and your releases. They're your music at the end of the day. No one else is going to do it for you. And no one else is going to do it as proud as you because you spent the time making it. You have an amazing opportunity so you can sit at home and tell people about your music and why you made it. And you need to build your own audience and your own fan base. You need to get the most out of your music. You can't just sit there and expect the labels to push it for you or anyone else to push it for you. You need to be making content for your releases and really getting the most out of those releases when it comes to that platforms. You can also lead the narrative when it comes to what the labels are talking about for the release as well. I know when I started Data Transmission, DJs would go outside clubs, hand out CDs of their latest mixes, and they'd be out there from the end of the club nights in the rain. Oh my God, it sounds horrible. And they were cold and they were wet and they were giving out their CDs to as many people as would take one and listen to it. And some ended up on the floor and some got listened to, and that maybe created an opportunity for them. And now all you got to do is flip your camera on, record yourself DJing and put it on YouTube and hit more people than they ever would have done. The big issue I've seen over the last year is DJs and producers getting the wrong content in the wrong parts of platforms. Maybe I should do a video about this. The basics though, Instagram Reels and TikTok need to be entertaining to get the best reach and views out of those videos. And if you need help making more Reels, then you should watch this video next where I talk about how to make Reels in depth like a pro. If you have square content like flyers and artwork and radio show adverts and podcast arts, then this might be best living on an Instagram carousel. Carousels where you swipe through and they've got so much reach for it, your current fan base and new fan base. And you should watch this video next on how to make carousels. And as I said, don't worry, I'm going to put all these in a playlist so you can watch them all in one go and binge them. Some content should live in stories like shares to live streams, flyers, shares from SoundCloud. They can all live in your stories, because that's your current fan base who already know what you're about. Getting the right content in the right surface can help you massively grow and massively go forward. Stop getting in your own way when it comes to making content. Just make it, put it out, and learn from what it did and what it didn't do. Let's make life easier for you. I've made this simple equation for making content. It's you plus the music plus the surface equals your content. Let's break this down. Each of us has different tastes, what you like, what you stand for, and what you want to play. Music, your releases are different, but more importantly, your musical knowledge and history are completely different. For my older friends, this one makes content for making for you super easy. Find those records that only you know about them and share on social media. Surface, as mentioned, getting the right content in the right part of the platform makes such a difference. And if you need understanding which parts of Instagram to put which content on, then you need to download my new ebook, which I've linked in the description. And okay, for an example, I was chatting to a DJ the other day. He's got a massive vinyl collection. And I was like, why don't you just pull out some records that you really like? Tell us about the record, put the record on the deck and then play the record, flip it over, play the other side, take a photo of you holding the record, and then in the caption, tell us all about that record in words as well. And that would then live on a carousel. You'd see the picture of you, you'd swipe through to the cover, you'd swipe through to the listen to it, and it sort of tells the story of that record. And that's a really easy piece of content that you can do once a week very easily. You can also ask the audience to vote whether they like it or not. The other thing you could do is you could just hold it up and talk about it and then put it on the deck and press play, and that could live on Reels. This mini series would then be your own content series. And you can roll this content series out and keep it consistent when you've got nothing else to talk about. Think about it. When you put Netflix on, it's all about series. You watch them weekly, you turn up from weekly and tune in for weekly series. I know you don't have to think about producing a massive show, but we have been conditioned to like series. So do that in your content. Come up with a couple of series, maybe around producing, maybe around DJ, maybe around music. Check out what Rewire does as a DJ on his Instagram and his YouTube. And he has different series there. And I break them down in this video. So go and watch that as well. And then build your audience around that content and stick to it. And if it sounds daunting to do all this content, just start with one post a week and make that consistent. Like I said, like building muscles at the gym, you start very, very slowly, you build up and you build the reps. How many of you set that resolution to lose weight this year? That's going to take exercise and healthy eating, but you have to put the work in, right? And the same with content. You need to learn the platform and the programs like Canva and CapCut and build the content muscles. So if you do anything this January, join our content gym as well and start making more content. And as I mentioned earlier, if all you're going to do is post a picture of the release and that's it for your whole release strategy, then you're not going to grow as a DJ and producer. It's just not going to cut it, and it hasn't cut it for the last few years. For those of you who think the algorithm is against you, change the word algorithm of people. Do people find my content entertaining, or do they find it boring? Could it be shorter? Could it be more punchy? Is it in the right surface? Would you swipe away from it if you thought it was boring? Do people like your content, not the algorithm? Because the algorithm, if people like your content, then the algorithm will push it to more people, and so forth and so forth, and that's how it grows. And then building those mini-series will give you content when you have no content, like I mentioned. Then when you add that into your release content, your live streams, your gig content, you're going to have a fuller release strategy. But always when you're trying to build up your content, start very simply. Plan your content out. Take some time to work out what your content strategy is. Plan out where key dates in the month are. What do you have going on? And then build out the content around those key dates. So let's chat platforms. I often get asked which is the best platform for DJs and producers. And the simplest answer is the one that resonates with you. Whether that's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Twitch, it doesn't really matter. Focus on one platform and do that platform really well. And there's so much organic reach still to be had on those platforms. And whilst you're doing all this, making sure you're growing your Spotify and your monthly listeners is so important. And if you didn't see this video on why you should grow your monthly listeners and why it's important for DJs and producers, go and check that out next as well. And the main thing with all these platforms is to build a community. At the end of the day, that's what's going to help you grow. And number 4, let's talk community. As of 2023, 2024, community is the most important thing. More important than streams, sales, and everything else. So who is in your community? Start at the very beginning. If it's one person, great. Make that 2, make that 3, make that 4. And remember, it's the community, is the people in that community. Get to know them individually, what they're into, what they like. Who are they? Chat to them in the DMs and the comments and build them one by one. When you're playing at gigs, make videos of the people that are dancing in front of you, because then you can post those and ask, who was this dancing to my whole set? They were rocking it. Tag your mate in the comments. And that's going to help them build your community out. Ask them questions. What are they into? What do they like? And use the polls and stickers to help you do this. And all of this loops back to point 1, who's in your network. Told you it was important. So let's summarize this video and how to be successful in 2024 as a DJ and producer. Firstly, what does that even look like for you? Where do you want to get to and what do you want to achieve? And what does that successful look like for you in 2024? Understand where you are now and where you want to get to. And then you'll understand what a successful year is. What's holding you back from achieving that successful year? What do you need to learn? What do you need to add to your armory? Where are the holes in your knowledge? Do you need to take a course to improve your music production or your DJ skills? Do you need to improve your marketing, your content skills? Do you need to improve your social media skills? Do you have music ready that you can't get signed? Well, all those latter 3, I can actually help you with those on my course, The Artist Blueprint. You could be one of our success stories for 2024, like some of these we've had over the last few years and some of the 500 DJs and producers I've worked with. Or like Josh Samuel, who got signed to a management company in 2023, which I spoke about in this video and how he got his manager. By becoming a course member of The Artist Blueprint, you get access to my massive curriculum and also group weekly mentoring sessions with myself. And these will help you grow and stay accountable within 2024. And they both come with lifetime access. And if you'd like to find out more about the course, it's about jumping on a discovery call with me. We'll chat about where you are now, where you want to get to, and we'll see if the course is right for you right now. And if you want to do that, I'll link to it in the description or just comment discovery call in the comments and I'll reply with a link. I hope to chat to some of you on discovery calls in 2024. And if I don't, I wish you a super successful 2024. Go and do this. Kill it as DJs and producers. You've got this. If one of your big goals for 2024 is to grow on SoundCloud, then you need to watch this video next where I teach you about how to absolutely destroy SoundCloud. SoundCloud's had some massive changes. And if you want to grow on SoundCloud, you need to watch that video next. Don't forget to like this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I will see you over in this video. Let's jump over there now. Cheerio. Bye-bye.